Today, we're diving into one of the most legendary commencement speeches of all time, Steve Jobs' 2005 address at Stanford. We're going to break down the 3 simple stories he told and really get to the heart of the powerful lessons packed inside each one.
And he kicks it off with this. So simple, so humble, no big fancy theories, no grand statements, just 3 stories. And that's exactly why it's so powerful. It's just real. So his whole speech is built around these 3 pillars. The first is about trusting your own unique journey. The second is about what happens when you fail spectacularly. And the third is about how thinking about death can teach you how to live.
Okay, let's jump right into that first story. It's all about how the weirdest, most random choices we make can actually end up to finding our future. It's really a lesson in trusting the process.
So try to picture it. A 17-year-old Steve Jobs drops out of an expensive college. He has no idea what he's doing. He's sleeping on the floor in his friends' rooms, and he just starts dropping in on classes that look interesting. He stumbles into a calligraphy class, a skill that had like 0 practical value at the time. But you fast forward 10 years, and that one random, useless class, it becomes the secret sauce behind the beautiful fonts on the very first Macintosh computer, changing everything.
And this, right here, just nails his whole point. When you're looking forward into the future, your path looks messy, totally unpredictable. There's just no way to connect the dots. But then, when you look backward, it all makes perfect sense. Suddenly, the line is crystal clear.
So here's the big lesson from story number 1. You've just got to trust yourself. Trust your gut, your curiosity, even when it leads you off the well-worn path. You have to believe that all those seemingly random experiences are building towards something important, even if you can't see the full picture just yet.
All right, on to story number 2. This one is an incredible lesson in resilience. It's about finding the thing you love to do, losing it in the most public way you can imagine, and somehow realizing that a total disaster can actually be an amazing opportunity. Just think about this for a second. By the time Steve Jobs was 30, the company he started in a garage was a $2 billion empire with over 4,000 employees. I mean, he was on top of the world. And then this happens. Just let that sink in for a moment. How do you get fired from the company that you founded? After a huge power struggle with the CEO that he'd hired, the board took the other guy's side. And just like that, poof, he was out. He said he was completely devastated. He felt like he'd let an entire generation of entrepreneurs down. He even thought about just running away from Silicon Valley for good. I mean, the entire focus of his adult life was just gone.
But this is where the story gets so good. What felt like the absolute worst thing that could ever happen actually set him free. He said it replaced the heavy weight of being successful with the lightness of being a beginner again. And in that freedom, he had one of the most creative periods of his entire life. He started Next, and he started Pixar. And that, funnily enough, is what eventually led him right back to Apple.
This is his advice, straight from that experience. No sugarcoating. Life can be brutal. It can feel totally unfair. The key, he says, is to just not lose faith.
So what kept him going? He still loved what he did. That passion was what fueled him to start all over again. And his message to us is so clear. You have to find what you love, because that love is the only thing that's going to get you through it when life hits you in the head with a brick. So whatever you do, don't settle.
Okay, and this brings us to his third and final story, and maybe the most profound one of all. It's about death. Jobs explains that remembering he was going to die was the most important tool he had for making the really big choices in life.
For 33 years, every single morning, he'd look in the mirror and ask himself this one question. And he said that whenever the answer was no for too many days in a row, he knew something had to change. What a simple, powerful way to check in with yourself.
So why is this so effective? Well, his logic is kind of beautiful, because when you're truly faced with your own mortality, everything else just melts away. All the pressure, all the expectations, all the fear of being embarrassed, it's all gone. You realize you're, as he put it, already naked. There's nothing to lose, and that means you're finally free to follow your heart.
And this is exactly what he's talking about. All that external noise, what other people expect of you, your own ego and pride, your fear of messing up, it all just falls away. The only thing left is what is truly deeply important.
And he warns us not to get trapped by what he calls dogma. I love his definition of it. It's simply living your life according to what other people think. It's letting the noise of other people's opinions drown out your own inner voice.
And really, it all leads up to this. This is the ultimate call to action.
It's this urgent plea to have the guts to listen to yourself, your heart, your intuition. Because, he says, somehow they already know what you truly want to become.
So when you put all three of these stories together, what you get is this single, powerful philosophy for how to live. Trust your journey, because the dots will connect. Find what you love and don't settle for anything less. And listen to your heart, because your time here isn't infinite.
He ended his speech with these 4 famous words, a kind of farewell blessing from a magazine he loved. It's a challenge, right? To never be satisfied, to always keep learning, to never lose that beginner's curiosity. And it really leaves you with a question. What are the dots in your own life that you're trusting to connect? And are you truly doing what you would want to be doing if today were your last?